United States, wearing the colors of Harvard, the University of Washington, Princeton, California, Berkeley, University of Wisconsin, and Cornell, winners of major rowing championships, crews out to prove that over 2,000 meters of water, theirs is the fastest boat in the country.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sit ready, ready all, row.
1985 Men's National Intercollegiate Rowing Championship. East Fork State Park in southwestern Ohio. The site of the championship since its inception in 1982, Harsha Lake combines accessibility to East and West Coast crews with almost perfect rowing conditions. East Fork has already been approved as an Olympic training site for the 1988 Games, and its challenging course awaits the arrival of rowing's finest. Entrants must have won a major championship to be invited to participate in this race. The University of Washington in Seattle is Pacific 10 winner and defending national champion.
There's a few things that we know about the start of this race. It'll be in absolutely perfect water where the course starts down in that little bay. And so there'll be very little weather influence there. But yeah, the important thing is that you get off to a good start and you're able to establish your own pace early in the progress of the race itself. So yeah, you can't get very far behind these crews coming off that starting line, or you're going to be in trouble. However, the course is 1,500 meters long, or 2,000 meters long, and say after that first 500 meters, you still have a long ways to go.
Harvard, historically famous for top-class eights, is winner of the Eastern Association of Rowing Colleges Eastern Sprints Championship and the Harvard-Yale race.
The championship here in Cincinnati has become a very important event on the intercollegiate rowing calendar. It's exciting to have the best crews in the country together at a time when all of them are at their best or very near their best, and obviously that it's pretty hard to think of anything that better than winning a true national championship. For our crew, we're excited to be here again, and we're hopeful that we can do well. We've had some very good racing toward the latter part of the season, and it appears that the boat's going well right now, and we're hoping that we can go fast enough to beat these people.
A new Ivy League entrant this year, Princeton has won the Intercollegiate Rowing Association title and has placed a close second to Harvard in the Compton Cup and Eastern Sprints. University of California at Berkeley has beaten Washington this year.
I just think it's a great event. It seems to be one of the best groupings of collegiate crews that I've seen in recent years. It'll be tremendous for the spectators and for the athletes and coaches to see 6 crews, no heats, just one shot, good quality racing. I hope the conditions are at least as nice as they are today.
Port side, maybe keep the hands down just a little longer on the port side to reach out there.
The University of Wisconsin is this year's Midwest Association of Rowing Colleges champion.
I think we have more fast teams racing here this year than this regatta has ever seen. I am predicting the fastest times that this regatta, I think we'll see 4 crews coming in there exceptionally fast. If the water conditions permit, probably around 5:50 or faster. And that probably is unheard of in collegiate rowing.
We get that feel. When we come out this afternoon, we'll come out quick and dirty and just take all power strokes, very little swing strokes, and just get the feel of that.
Cornell is an unknown quantity. They're here because they and their coach think they can win.
The crew decided that they wanted to stay around and spend 2 more weeks after school was out to see if we couldn't get a better performance, set sort of a base for next year. And, we are definitely a dark horse, an underdog, whatever, which in some ways is good because it takes a little bit of the pressure off us, and we've had a really productive 2 weeks getting ready to race.
For the first time in the national championship, there is a full field of 6 boats. Union, crafted from solid sterling silver, is a magnificent trophy for the national rowing champion. It is awarded along with an all-expenses-paid trip to the Henley Regatta in London. Although presented to the winning team, it represents the sum of many individual efforts.
That's I find that rowing in stroke is the one time it ends up being a much more personal thing. I mean, it feels like it's me against the rest of the cruise, as opposed to when I'm back in the boat surrounded by people on both sides, in front of me and in the back of me. And then it's sort of, I feel like I'm part of a team competing against another team. But in the stroke seat, I can't see anyone else rowing, really. All I can see is the coxswain and the other crews. So I have a much greater feeling of personally competing against the other crews.
At the start, especially when the boat's dead in the water and starts moving, the bowman has probably more effect, more leverage than anybody else, and it's important for the bowman to have a sense of when the boat's going straight and not going straight, so that he can adjust his pulling on the start to keep it straight off the line. Everybody feels responsible when you lose, and when you win, you feel it's an effort of the whole boat. So all you can do is, when you finish a race, be satisfied that you've put out your best effort, and hopefully by doing that, the crew will win. And
the acceleration doesn't only come from the pull through the water, it also comes from the move back up the slide, the change of the center of balance of the boat. So the real swing and acceleration of the boat comes from the time you leave the water and the time you get the blade back into the water.
It's like pushing a child on a swing. You know, if you hit the person at the exact instant at the back of the arc, well, the person with very little effort will swing in a long arc. Whereas if you're to hit them after or before, you know, there's kind of a tension and you feel a weight pushing back on you. And it's the same thing in a boat. When the oar goes in at precisely the right moment and they all go in together, it's almost effortless. And you hear the hum under the water, the boat, and it just flies. It's an incredible feeling. And that's what swing is. And it's more important than power. It's more important than coaching. It's what rowing's all about. It doesn't happen too often, but what it does, the boat really moves.
Crowds arrive early on race day to line the beach for a view of the finish. Sponsors of the event, the proceeds of which go to the Cincinnati Center for Developmental Disorders, have staked out the tented stewards area. It's a full day of racing, with the national championship the main event. The crews are set. The teams for the 1985 Men's Intercollegiate Rowing Championship are Princeton,
Man up. Right over the edge.
Cornell,
Over the head, city. Up. Straight left side.
Harvard, the University of Washington.
Right. Up and over. Up.
Beachmaster, this is K8 RBQ.
The University of Wisconsin.
Hey, you're 3 minutes. Is that a ringer for time?
And the University of California at Berkeley.
Lane 2 has to be pulled back. You need to pull it alongside the same boat.
The boats line up in their lanes, sterns held, bows aligned. The order, from front to rear: Cornell, Harvard, Washington, Wisconsin, Princeton, and Cal Berkeley.
Gentlemen, the starting commands will be as follows. I will pull all the crews, coxswain, should have their hands up if there's a problem pointing. You will be aligned. It will be a countdown start beginning 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit ready. Ready all. Row.
You'll hear the voices of Cal Berkeley coxswain Veragus and Cornell coxswain Spector as they lead their crews off the line. They listen for the starter's order. 2,000 meters of water, over a mile to the finish.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit ready. Ready all. Row.
3/4 now. Half. 3/4 race. 4 up for 15. 1. Get it off. 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at the cat. 6, 7. About now. 8 filling 2. 9 filling 1. Down in on this one. 8:20 now. 6. 3. Down to his county. 1. Moving now. Center out here. Hand to the stern. Stretch him out here on starboard. Catch it, Paul. Looking sweet, everybody. Nice move. And big hands on legs. 1. Right there with all the crews. Relax. 3. Take 10 now. 2. 3. 6. 4. 5. 6. Wash it up by 6. 7. 8 filling 2. 9 filling 1. And another one. Move now into a 3.
Washington is continuing to build its lead and now has perhaps half a length on Wisconsin and 3/4 of a length on Harvard. Cornell is still in the race, perhaps a deck behind Harvard. Princeton perhaps a half a length behind Cornell, and California about a deck length behind Princeton.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs, 9, 10. Moving back now. 500 meters down, guys. Legs. After it, right on a 3-6. Gotta keep it moving. Getting up. Back eight here. Back eight. Let's get right with the other crews now. Washington's up by a lead. Move us back in with a solid 10 from the catcher. All sophomores pushing on it. 1, 2. Good, you're moving in. 4, 5, 6, and we got 2 men on Princeton board. 2 men on California. Moving up in the line now, Berkeley. Here we go. Championship at 7. 1. Stronger. 8. 2. Push those legs out. 9. Moving back now. 10. 1. Going through Princeton. 2. 3. 4. 5. Princeton now.
Halfway through the course, Princeton and Harvard make their move on Washington.
But it is also clear that Princeton is making one heck of a move. They are now beyond Wisconsin, probably almost even with Harvard, appear to be ahead of Cornell, and at this stage of the game, it's clearly Washington. Harvard about 3/4 of a length, maybe now only half a length behind, but Princeton really moving, probably tied with Harvard for second place. Princeton clearly in second place. I would point out at this point with Harvard still also moving. It's going to be a battle between Harvard, Washington, and Princeton as we come down to the finish. There are about 400 meters to go. Harvard is making a move. Princeton is making a move. Princeton is essentially the 3 boats are tied at this point. The 3 boats are tied, and it's difficult to tell, but Princeton might actually have the lead at this point. Not by much. A half a length, a deck. Washington continuing to try and hold second place. May just be barely in second place. Harvard really pressing.
It's clear all 6 teams are rowing extremely well. Princeton, Washington, and Harvard are rowing stroke for stroke. The finish will be extremely close. crosses the finish line half a second ahead of Princeton. Third is Washington, followed by Cornell, Wisconsin, and California. Here's that finish again. Harvard crosses the finish line with a time of 5:44.4, followed by Princeton in 5:44.9. Washington, 5:46.1. Cornell, 5:49.1. Wisconsin, 5:50.7. And California, 5:51. All 6 crews have topped last year's winning time of 5:51.1.
The 1985 National Collegiate Champion, Harvard University.
Thank you. Well, I might be the wrong guy to do it, but I'd like to congratulate my crew on a great race and all of the other crews on an equally great race, and thank all of you for being here.
Harvard has won the Hershey Cup and the trip to the Henley Regatta in England. On this day, theirs was the fastest boat in the country.
One more happy day in life of our crew.
All right, good work. Let's battle out of here.
The Cincinnati Regatta. 1985 Men's National Intercollegiate Rowing Championship.